Lots of people make decisions about you related to your credit report. Anytime you're asking a bank to put money into an asset on your behalf, then your credit score becomes an important and vital part of their decision making. Well, welcome to the Money Tip Podcast presented by Fully Funded Life. My name is Joe Sangl, and I'm here committed to help you take a next step in your finances each and every Monday so that you can live your fully funded life. Today, I want to talk about something's really important part of our financial journey, and that is our credit reports. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the credit report. Now, lots of people make decisions about you related to your credit report. Now, we all know, obviously, if we're applying to receive credit, whether we're purchasing a new car, we're purchasing, maybe it's an appliance that we're financing. We don't recommend that around here, but if you are, anytime you're looking to borrow money, purchasing a home, obviously, anytime you're asking a bank to put money into an asset on your behalf, you're borrowing money, then your credit score becomes an important and vital part of their decision making. And it should be said that if companies are making decisions about whether or not to lend to you based upon your credit, well, it became very important for the government to realize that if these companies are making that decision based upon your credit report, you should have fair and unfettered access, free, fair, and unfettered access to your credit report so that you can understand what information they have about you. Now, it's important to note that many credit reports have at least one error on them, and that's one reason why you should always make sure to check your credit report. Now, in this episode today, we're going to talk over the next 8 minutes or so. We're going to talk about how to get your credit reports, the big three credit reporting agencies, and some things to look out for. I think you'll find it very helpful for you, especially if you're seeking to build credit or you're looking to rebuild your credit, or if you're just wanting to protect your credit. And so the first thing I wanted to share is where you can get that free, fair, and unfettered access. And that is at annualcreditreport.com. We have it on the screen, and maybe we'll show you the website here at annualcreditreport.com. Now, if you look at this, this is the site that has been mandated by federal law to allow you to get a free copy of your credit report every 12 months from each of the big three credit reporting agencies. Now, there are three credit reporting agencies that are the big three. You may have heard of some of these: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Those are the big three. And this allows you to review your credit report to catch signs of identity theft or errors that have been reported against your credit report, which all figure into your credit score. Now, of course, these credit reports, they affect your mortgage rates, credit card approvals, apartment requests, hey, even a job application. For some people in the military, it can affect your security clearances. It can affect your insurance rates. Those are the things that are less obvious to people. And when we think about your credit report, I recommend you do this at least once a year, and you do this for yourself. And if your spouse, if you're married, you should do that for them. Now, I also encourage you to do this with your children that have just left the house. They're 18, 19, 20, 21, so that you can help them build these good habits so that they make sure that they are in charge and in control of their credit. This is an important part about having that sort of access to annualcreditreport.com. Now, as we go through this, I want to talk about a couple things. You can get the big three credit reports. Now, I want to make sure that we're clear here that it's not your credit score, it's your credit report. So what is a credit report? Well, when you look at your credit report, it captures your personal information. Many of them, I'm looking at one that I'm not going to share with you. It's my own credit report. It's from TransUnion, and it shows previous addresses where I've lived, and there's a lot of them because when you first start out in life, I've got ones with my first apartment I ever lived at. And then it's the first house I lived at and the next house I lived at. And then when we were moving, I had it forwarded to my in-laws' house. It has telephone numbers that are reported and employment data. And then it shares some categories of accounts, of credit accounts. So it's satisfactory accounts and unsatisfactory accounts, or accounts in poor standing. And so when you're looking at it, it will list all the accounts that are satisfactory. It'll list who the lender was. So when I'm looking at mine, it's saying American Express. And I opened this account, it said in July 13th of 2017. And it says it's in good status. It tells the high balance that it's ever been, the low balance, and whether or not I pay it on time. And of course, I pay mine on time. That's part of my fully funded life. There's an Amex card from a department store. I think that was from Macy's. I opened it to get the 15% discount, I believe, and then I never used it, so we closed it. And then I have one from Bank of America. This Bank of America one was a home equity line of credit that I established. I used it when I was looking to purchase land and move to our forever home. And so I took the line of credit and used that from my paid for house to purchase the land in whole, where I had no debt on that land, because I knew the money in that house was going to that land eventually. And so I did that, and it shows everything reported. So it's credit accounts, line of credit accounts, mortgage accounts, shows how they're reported. Okay, if there's anything that says, hey, it was not satisfactory, well, you want to know, is this true? And if it's true, then how can you make sure that never happens again? If it's not true, then in every credit report, it shows how you can protest that, how you can dispute that. Now, we'll talk about that more here in a minute, but it also on your credit report shows regular inquiries. So regular inquiries is when someone inquires of your credit, your request. So you filled out an application. These are regular inquiries. Now, it may not surprise you. Maybe it does surprise you that these big three companies, a big part of their business is selling your information to other people to offer you credit. And so those will be listed as promotional inquiries. And it will be the companies that they allowed to access your name, address, and other limited information about us so that they could make a firm offer of credit or insurance. They didn't receive your full credit report like they would if you filled out a request for credit. And so promotional inquiries, I can see that TransUnion and Credit Sesame, Amica Insurance, Barclays Bank, Credit Plus, Quicken Loans, Nationwide Insurance, Allstate Insurance, Travelers Insurance. Well, they looked at it. Then it will show account review inquiries. And these are from people that they may have a line of credit or a debt with you, and you signed somewhere in the gobbledygook and the litany of paperwork that had you sign that they could check on your credit every so often. And so there's a listing of that. And then it talks about, hey, you have a dispute, you have an issue. Here are your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. They have to list this by law. And it shows all your rights that exist for you, that you have the right to ask for a credit score. You have the right to dispute incomplete or inaccurate information. And it shows you how to do that. That it has to be correct or they have to delete it. That access to your data has to be limited to those who you've given access to. Now, it's important to note that they also share with you how you can freeze your credit report so that if anyone makes a request for credit trying to pose as you, they have to contact you. They have to take another level of diligence to contact you to be able to so-called unthaw your credit. So here's what I would ask you to consider doing this week. As we talk about this on the podcast all the time, the Monday Money Tip podcast, we want to help you advance in your financial journey. Is if you have not accessed your free credit report in the last year, maybe it's been 3-4 years, will you do it today? Go to annualcreditreport.com. We've provided a link and you can get your credit report. If you're married, of course, get that for your spouse. If you have these young adults in your life, these kiddos that have just flown the coop maybe, hey, ask them to do it as well, and then walk them through this so that you can make sure they get a great first step into life. Your credit score is an important and vital part of your ongoing ability to grow in your financial life, to purchase that home, to get the best interest rates, to get the best insurance rates, to maintain security clearances, hey, even to get that job that you want. Make sure that you are watching this, that you're monitoring this so that you can prosper all the days of your life. We call that around here living a fully funded life. So go to the website, annualcreditreport.com. Do it today. I think you'll be very glad that you did. I hope that you'll make sure to tune in next Monday for the next Monday Money Tip. Have a great week, everybody. Hey, everyone. Joe Sangl here. Thanks so much for watching this episode. Hey, I encourage you to check out our other videos that are available here. If you like this, hey, every single week we're producing new content that is to help you with right now relevant information. So make sure you click one of the links and check out some more of our information. I think you'll be so glad that you did. I know your wallet will be glad you did.